Hello everyone, welcome back. We are going to go ahead and jump right into part 2 of this tutorial for the shaker memory box. Please refer to the cutting guide. I have the link below in the description box, and get all your pieces pre-cut, and we can go ahead and get started. So to begin, we're just going to take our 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock and seam them together with our liquid adhesive. Let's grab our pieces that we cut out and lay them down so we can glue them. First, we're going to put our flap closure down. The second piece that is going to go down is not the spine that is in my hand, but the frame piece that I am going to grab next. And in the cutting guide, I explain how to create this frame. The third piece is your spine, and then the last piece you put down is your base. Now we just have to go ahead and glue our cardstock down, leaving 1/4 of an inch space between each. Now I'm going to grab my X-Acto knife and my ruler so I can go ahead and make an X in this middle piece right here to cut out our window. Once I make the X, I'm going to cut the triangle flaps, but I'm going to leave 1/2 inch on the flap to cover this inside of the frame, as you will soon see. Don't worry if your cuts don't go all the way through the first time. You can go ahead and recut it, and anything that has a little accident is going to be covered anyway. I'm using my scoring tool here just to make it easier to fold over the papers. And I'm going to go into the corners with my X-Acto knife again just to make sure I have a nice clean cut deep into that corner. Here's where we're going to cut our triangle pieces, leaving 1/2 inch on to cover the side of the frame. Now we just have to glue all our flaps down and burnish them with our bone foiler. Make sure they have a nice good stick. And once we do that, we can glue down all these little side pieces right here. I'm gonna glue those down as well, and you won't even be able to tell once we put our other paper on top. Sorry for all the shaking that seems to be going on throughout this video. I think with this new glue, I wasn't used to it not being a quick dry, a fast drying glue. So I thought I had to press down a little bit harder to make it stick for some reason, but obviously I didn't. So please excuse all the shaking from that. Let's grab your scoring tool and run it down all sides of your cardstock here, and this is going to allow your cardstock to fold up nicely over onto your chipboard, especially when this is an 80-pound 80-pound cardstock I'm using. It's a little bit heavier, so it's nice to go ahead and score it to allow it to go ahead and fold up. And on this side right here, I noticed it's a little bit longer than I'd like. So I'm going to go ahead and trim that off by 1/4 of an inch. And then it's going to be the perfect size that I want. And we can go ahead and continue in folding over our flaps. And don't forget to go ahead and tuck your corners in right here with your fingernails a little bit, just to go ahead and give you a nice mitered corner when you glue your flaps down. I'm going to tidy up my frame corners to make sure they're nice and crisp, and that's what your shaker window looks like in the front. Now we're just going to go ahead and get our foam folder out and go ahead and make our light creases right here in between our chipboard pieces. I'm just going to allow our box to bend and fold. If you do not have a bone folder for this step, you could use other things, just not something sharp, because it will poke through and tear your paper and crack it and do all sorts of things you don't like, and then you'd have to start all over. We don't want that to happen. Let's go ahead and grab our inner box that we had put aside, and we're going to glue the bottom down to the base and also the spine piece to the back of the inner box. If you would like to cover the bottom, it's not necessary. I'm not going to, because the inner box is going to be sitting on top of it, so I find it unnecessary. But if you would like a more finished look, go ahead and cut out a piece, and you could go ahead and put it on the bottom. I'm just going to take a piece here and cover my flap closure. And this is not going to be for my decorative paper. My decorative paper is going to go on top later. Now we can grab our supplies and begin to build our shaker front window. So we need our front piece of acetate. Please refer to the cutting guide for all these measurements. And it's going to sit on the top just like so. Grab your foam tape. Now I started to put it on the box. I should have continued doing it that way, but I didn't. I went ahead and lined it up on my acetate. So whichever way you feel comfortable adding it to, it's up to you. Sorry I'm out of frame here, but I'm just going around and putting foam tape on all four sides of the acetate. If you have read the cutting guide, here is where the decorated paper comes into play. This is going to be your double-sided decorated paper, to where one side is going to show through the photo frame on the inside the box here, and on the outside it's going to be the background for our shaker. So you glue that down. I'm not sure what paper collection I'm using right now, so that's why I didn't pick it. And this is going to be our acetate photo frame that's going to go on the inside. And we're going to glue that down on 3 sides, leaving this side open to slip your photo tag in and out. And I'll show you what that looks like right here. And this is the background paper right there, the double-sided paper with our acetate frame on top. And then I just had a photo mat right here that slides in and out. And then through the front right here, you can see our other side of our double-sided paper poking out in the front window of our shaker. So pretend you have that down and you have your photo mat down in the front. You can go ahead now and put in any of your shaker pieces you would like to put in, your sequins, your glitters, beads, die cuts, anything you would like to add to it. Now would be the time to go ahead and add that on top. I decided I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, so I'm just going to go ahead and add another layer of the foam tape all the way around, right on top of the foam tape that I just put down. And then we're going to peel that off, the backing off all that, and stick it onto our box. Before you do that though, if you would like to cut out your decorative paper that's going to go on top of your box, now would be the perfect time to go ahead and do that. And then you can go ahead and put your shaker window on top. Before you add your acetate frame to your top of your shaker box, you're going to want to add some baby powder or some sort of powder to the inside so that all your shaker pieces don't get static cling and clump up together. It would also be wise to go ahead and get a microfiber cloth or some soft cloth and go ahead and wipe your acetate on the front so you don't have all your fingerprints and everything from working with it. After your acetate frame is adhered to the front of your box, you can go ahead and then add another frame around it that's going to go ahead and hide all your foam tape right there, and then you'll be able to have your shaker window all nice and neatly done. Grab your magnets. Time to do the closure. You need 3 for the flap right here and 3 for the outer side of the box. I'm going to put those down before you put your decorative paper on, and make sure they're all spaced out evenly so when you close your flap they catch on the same spots. And that's it. Thank you for joining me.